So let's start with the IR sensor. IR sensor. Okay. So here IR sensor is nothing but infrared radiation sensor. Okay. So this means radiation sensor. Okay. So this is IR sensor. Okay. So it has the some of the components inbuilt in this circuit. Okay. So the first one is the IR LED and another one is the photodiode, and we have the some of the controlling pins here. So here we have VCC, ground and output. Okay, so we'll discuss about this board later. Okay, so this is your IR sensor. Okay, the IR sensor is used to detect an object. Okay, so then how it will going to detect an object? So we have to know the working of the IR sensor. So we already seen the IR sensor configuration. So your sensor will be look like this. Okay, so it has two LEDs basically. Okay, so these are look like some LEDs, right? So we have two LEDs like this. So one is the white LED and another one is the black LED. So based on the color. Okay. So then we have some pins. So first one is VCC and then ground and then output pin. Okay, so this is VCC, ground and output pin. Okay, so now here, so this is white LED, or this is called as an transmitter, and another LED is called as an receiver. So basically white LED is not a normal LED, so that we are emitting the light, right? So this is not a normal LED, so this is called IR LED. Okay, IR LED. So we are using IR LED as a transmitter, and here another black LED is nothing but, so basically we can call it as an photodiode. Okay, so this is photodiode. So now, so as the name suggests that, so IR sensor, infrared radiation sensor, so it will use the infrared radiation for detecting an object. Okay, so when you power up this IR sensor, okay, so by applying so VCC and the ground, right? So this is your IR sensor. So when you are applying VCC to VCC, that is nothing but plus 5 voltage to the VCC and ground to the ground, so then this device will power up and it will continuously transmitting the IR radiation through the IR LED. So this is the transmission LED or transmitter LED. So it will transmit the IR radiation continuously when this device is powered on. Okay, like this. Okay. So just assume that if any object present in front of this sensor, okay, let's say this is your object, okay, so then what will happen? So this IR radiation will hit this object and it will rebounce back, okay, or it will reflect back, okay, like this. So then what is the use of photodiode then? And when object is not detected, okay. So if the object is present in front of your IR sensor, so it will provide low level logic. Okay, first of all, it will provide low level logic when the object is present. Okay, so and it will provide high level signal when there is no object. Okay, if there is no object, so then it will provide high level signal. If there is an object, so then it will provide low level signal. So this is the configuration of this IR sensor. Okay, and some of the IR sensor will have the different configuration. Okay, if the object is present, so the sensor will give the high level logic. If it is not present, so then they will provide low level logic. But here in your kit, so we have the IR sensor. So what is the operation of that IR sensor? It will provide low signal when object is detected, and it will provide high level signal when the object is not present, okay, or when the object is not detected. Okay, so like that we can operate the IR sensor. So basically, so we have the two components, so transmitter and receiver. So transmitter will include IR LED and receiver will include photodiode. Okay, so what is the usage of IR LED? It will continuously transmit the IR radiation for detecting an object. Okay, so here photodiode, it will convert the reflected or echo signal to the electric signal for measurement or for the further processing. Okay, so if the object is present, so this sensor will provide low level signal. If there is a no object, so then it will provide high level signal. Okay, so this is the working of your IR sensor. So basically it is used to detect an obstacle or object. Okay, so this is clear. So what is the usage of IR sensor, or where we can find the major applications based on IR sensors? Okay. So first one is LFR and obstacle avoidance. So then automatic and sanitizing. Okay. So in this case, in this application, you can also use the IR sensor. Okay, fine. Then IR sensor. Okay, so here why? Because we are discussing application, means I will do the some of the application that are listed here. Okay, so using this IR sensor we can do the some mini projects. Okay, these are called as a mini projects, right? So we can after the end of the session, so we'll be able to develop any one of the applications here. Okay, first, so we'll go for the LFRs. So then we can also do the automatic hand sanitizer here. Okay, so after that we can use the intrusion detection, or you can also use this for the counter purpose, so like a smart home monitoring or smart room monitoring. Okay, so all these things will be explained in the end of the class. Okay, so these are the applications. You can use the IR sensor in the many applications. Okay, so now we'll move forward to the coding part. Okay, so just similar to the switch programming. Okay, similar to the switch programming, here also your IR sensor is worked, because so it will give the only two levels of signal, right? So you can see here, so it will provide only two levels of signal. So if the object is present, it will give the low level signal. If the object is not present, so then it will use high level signal. So now my requirement is, so when the object is present, so we have to turn on the LED. So if the object is not present, so then we have to turn off the LED. Okay, so that purpose, so we'll build a program. Okay, here, so we'll take a new file. Okay, so first we'll draw the interfacing diagram. Okay, so this is your Arduino microcontroller. Okay, then this is your IR sensor. So it has 3 pins already listed here. So first pin and second pin and third pin. So this is the VCC. Okay, next ground, next output pin. Okay, so connect VCC to 5 volt and ground to ground, and connect output pin to any one digital pin or analog pin. So let's say I will take 2. Okay, so this is the interfacing diagram of IR sensor into Arduino. Okay, so you can also build using your bridging software. So but here, so let's search IR sensor. Okay, this is not an IR sensor. Okay, so let's say this one is the VCC and middle one is the ground and this one is the output pin as mentioned here. Okay, so VCC, ground and output. Okay, and take your Arduino board and connect VCC to 5 volt and ground to ground. Now next output pin to second pin on Arduino. Okay, so this is the simple connection to your Arduino microcontroller. Okay, so now we have to write the code. So when the object is detected, okay, so we have to turn on the LED. So if the object is not detected, so we have to turn off the LED. So this is basic programming. Okay, so for that purpose I will open my sketch. Okay, this is your Arduino sketch. So now, so Meghana, okay,
pin mode sir, A0 comma input.
so pin mode here, pin mode, which pin?
A0 sir.
So here you can look at, so here connected output pin to the second pin.
Digital. Okay sir.
Here we have to take 2
2
comma input. Okay, then
Sir, in void loop.
in the while loop,
Sir, digital write.
digital,
Sir, first we should read the sensor sir. So digital read.
okay, then,
First we should int some variable. Int A is equals to digital read of that pin.
okay, fine. I will take int A is equal to, or I will mention, okay, first of all I will take int A equal to digital read of which pin? So second pin.
Pin yes sir.
Okay, then
If A equals to 1.
1 is nothing but high. Here just remember, so one more point. So if the object is present, so it will use low level value. If object is not present, so then it will use high level value. Okay, now tell me. Yeah,
If A equals to 0, sir.
then
Digital write sir.
okay, digital write. Digital write
Pin 2 comma high.
pin 2 comma high. Okay, then
Sir, next else. Digital write pin 2 comma low.
digital write pin 2 comma low.
Low sir.
Okay, that's all.
Pin in the modput.
ಇವಾಗ ಏನೇನು modification?
Digital right 13 comma low.
So here we have to take
13 comma
high and here 13 comma low.
yes sir.
Okay, simple code for using IR sensor. So it will gives the indication when the object is present. Okay, so by turning on the LED. So if the object is not present, it will turn on the it will turn off the LED. So this is the simple program. As compared to the switch programming, this is similar, right? So instead of taking high signal, we are taking low signal only. Okay, so just connect your IR sensor, look like this. Okay, so just I will show you the connection diagram. Okay, so this is your IR sensor connection with your Arduino microcontroller. Just connect VCC to 5 volt, okay, ground to ground, and take one wire and it will connect output pin to the second pin on your Arduino. Okay, so after connecting or after interfacing, so just write this code and upload this code into your Arduino microcontroller. So then you have to place object near to the IR sensor, then it will detect an object and it will use that signal to your digital pin 2. So then your processor will read this information. So if it is high, so then it will turn off the LED. If it is low, then it will turn on the LED. So that is the indication of object is present or not. Okay. So now here, instead of IR sensor in the simulation, I won't get an IR sensor here. Okay. So now object is present, so it will provide low level signal. If object is not present, it will use high level signal, right? So here also, so first of all we are checking the high level signal. When the switch is pressed, it will give high level signal. If it is not pressed, so then it will give low level signal. So based on this condition, we will do the particular operation. Okay. So just assume that this is your IR sensor and this is the LED I am going to control. Okay. So here, okay, just I'll go for one more circuit. So just I will copy this code. Okay, here. So 2 input and 13 output. Okay, just simulate the code. So this is the reverse operation, right? So you can also do like this. So just change the condition. If it is low, okay, so then I will turn off the LED, and if it is high, so then I will turn on the LED. Okay. So now you can see, so your IR sensor is not detecting any object, so then it will provide low level signal. So if it is detected any object, so then it will provide high level signal to the particular pin. Okay. So like that your IR sensor will going to work. So after connecting IR sensor, so you just place the any object near to the sensor, so that will detect an object. So detect ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, so here the LED will turn on. So if the object is not detected, so then it will turn off the LED. Okay. So this is the simple program. Okay. So but so ನೀವು ರಿಯಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಇಂಟ್ರೂಷನ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ದ ಎನಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೆಡ್, ಓಕೆ, so if any object is present in front of your sensor, so that will alert you. Okay, so how you are going to alert? So using some kind of sound. So how you are going to provide sound, or how you are going to generate sound? Using some devices called buzzer. Okay, simple. So here I will use buzzer now. Okay, so if the object is present in front of the sensor, so that will turn on the LED, that will turn off the buzzer, so for indicating the user. Okay, so if the object is not present, so then that will turn off the buzzer. Okay, so here also we will find out the buzzer. Okay, so like that. So here this is your buzzer. Okay, just take the buzzer and connect negative terminal to the ground and positive terminal to the 12th pin. Now I will take 12th pin. Okay, so in the coding part, so if the object is presented, so this is the presented environment. Okay, here, so then I will turn on one more device called buzzer. Okay, so I will turn on 12 comma high, and here I will make digital write 12 comma low. Okay, and make here the 12 pin as an high, or sorry, output. Let's see. So we have 12 comma digital write. create some noise, right? So that is nothing but the buzzer here, buzzer indication. Okay, so if the object is present, so that will alert you guys. Okay, if the object is not present, so then that will turn off the buzzer. Okay, so instead of turning on continuously, so we can also do the blinking. Okay, so here we'll get an irritating, so when this buzzer is continuously in the on state, so that purpose, so we'll go for the blinking. Okay, so what I will do here, so if the object is present, so I will turn on this buzzer, or I'm blinking this buzzer for 5 times. Okay, so then now we are going to do that. So just go for the for loop. Okay, here I will use for loop. So for int I is equal to 0 and I less than or equal to 4 times, so that will equivalent to 5 times, and I plus plus. So now I am making a high, so after that I'll give the smaller delay, so like 200. Again I will turn off this. Okay, again I will give the delay as 200. Okay, so now let us see if the object is present. Okay, so like that it will blink. So if you are continuously pressing, so then there is a no difference, right? So it is continuously blinking. So if you want to give the break, so then we have to use the one more delay. So at the end of the for loop, so we can also use the one more delay for giving the break. Okay, so like I will take 2 seconds. Even though I am pressing continuously, so that will blink 5 times and it will wait for 2 seconds, so then again it will blink for 5 times. Okay, so I'm pressing this push button continuously. Okay, you can see here I'm not released this push button yet. So now I'll released, so it is in the remaining in the off state. Okay, so like that, so we can build an interactive application using the IR sensor. So now, so this is the simple code. Okay, so if the object is present, so that will turn on the buzzer or LED. So if the object is not present, so that will turn off the LED or a buzzer. Okay, so now for the intrusion detection, so we can also use the LCD display here. Okay, so we can also interface LCD. So what I am doing here, so if the object is present, I will print the status on LCD display. So we are already working on the LCD displays. Okay, so we are going to display the characters, numbers, special symbols, all these things stuffs, right? So here, so we can build interactive application. So if the any object is present, so that this system will give the alert, along with it will display the information on the LCD, so that will give the effective information, so about object is present or object is not present, or object is detected or not detected, like that. Okay, so for that, so we have to use LCD here. Okay, so just so connect this switch into the right side. Okay, here, so this is the switch connection. I'll connect buzzer later and LED also. Okay, let's take the LCD display. So we already connected the register and the another line to the switches. Okay, so just I will place over it So connect ground to ground. So this is a simple connection we already did. Okay, so VCC to VCC and contrast pin to, so that should be coming from the variable register. So VCC to VCC, ground to ground. Okay, yeah, this is the ground pin, right? So ground to ground and middle pin to the third pin, and we have RS pin. The RS pin will connect it to the second. Okay, let's say I will connect it to the third pin, and RW to ground. Okay, for LCD operation, first we have to include the library function liquid crystal. Then we have to create an object called LCD and give the pin connection number. First one is the RS, that is hooked with 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so this is the connections. Okay, connection pin number. So after that we have to initialize the LCD. So using LCD dot begin 16 cross or 16 comma 2. Okay, so after that, so I'll print something. Okay, so first I will print here directly. So LCD dot print object is present or detected or anything. Okay, so then the same thing I'm going to display here. So here, so here object is not present. So you can see here, so we have the more number of 16 characters. So then go for the LCD dot set cursor. Okay, first of all I will run this code. So if you are not getting any result on the LCD display, just control or vary the potentiometer on your LCD board. Okay, so now object is present. Okay, so I'm getting an error warning here. So you are getting noisy signal. For that purpose, so I'm going to clear this LCD first. Before printing something, I will clear the LCD display. LCD dot clear. So object is present. Okay, so let's change the condition here. So here object is the present. Okay, sorry, object is the present, here it is not present. Object is not present, so it is not completed. Okay, it is not completely printing on the LCD display, so that's why. Okay, object is, okay, I'll take object is. Okay, then I'll go for LCD, one more function called set cursor, and I'll take 0 comma 1. So 0 is the first column and 1 is the second row, that is the indication. Object is not detected. Here also same, object is detected, or you can simply say that object is detected. Then simulate the program. Object is not detected, so this is blinking, right, or flickering. So that's why just I will take a small delay, so called 100. Here also, so we have the delay. Okay, no problem. can see here object is not detected. So then I will press the push button. Object is detected. Okay, object is detected. Okay, so this is the one of the mini application you can develop using IR sensor. Okay, okay, fine. So this is the one of the mini application. So along with that, to enhance this application, so we can also use the GSM interfacing here. So while any object is present, so we can send the particular message to the owner. So like that we can also build, or you can also enhance your application by applying the some of the features. Okay, ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ so in the smart room application I want to control. Okay, in the smart room application I have two devices. So one device is called AC. Okay, so this has two devices, one is AC and another one is the fan. Okay, so normal fan. Okay, so we have just assume that this is your fan. Okay, so I have fan and this is AC. So first of all, my requirement is when the person is entered into my room, okay, or this room. If any person entered to this room, so then I will turn on the fan. Okay, so this is my requirement, simple requirement. The first requirement is if any person, okay, if any person entered into the room, okay, then this device automatically turn on the fan. Okay, so then it has to turn on a fan. Okay, so here we don't have a fan, so just turn on the LED. Okay, just assume that LED is nothing but the fan. Okay, so if the person is entered into the room, so then this system has to turn on the fan. If the person, okay, second condition, if the person, okay, if the person exit, so then turn off the fan. Okay, this is my requirement, this is my problem statement 1. Okay, so then now we are going to do that. So we already done this one, but this is smally different one of the previous program. So here just we are turning on the LED when the object is present. If the object is not present, so then at the meantime, so we are going to turn off the LED. But here what will happen, so when the object is detected for the first time, we have to turn on the LED. So when the object is detected for the second time, so then we have to turn off the LED. So that is the major operation here, right? So just assume that we are placing IR sensor at the door. Okay, so just assume that this is your door, so you are placing our IR sensor. Okay, so just assume that this is your IR sensor. So if person entering into the room, so then we have to turn on this fan. If the person exited, so then we have automatically we have to turn off the fan. So this is my requirement. So then tell me how you are going to write the program. So this is simple program for detecting an object and alerting user and updating this status on LCD display. Okay, this is one type of application. Okay, so now I have to build this kind of application. Okay, all of you got this requirement. What next? So int count is equal to 0. So where I have to declare, in the loop or outside the loop?
In loop, so
So just I will take then int count is equal to 0 first. Okay, then
If state is equal to I.
if
State is equal to I.
what is state here?
A.
So you have to take A. Okay, A is equal to high or
I.
low?
I so
No, sir.
So in this case we have to take low. Okay, then then
count is equal to count plus 1.
so count is equal to count plus 1, or you can take that count plus 1 is equal to, or I will take simply count plus plus. Then
If count is equal to.
okay, then if count is equal to
1 is equals to 1.
okay 1.
1.
So if it is 1,
Digital write is equal to 13.
so digital write 13 comma high. Okay, then
If count is equal to 2.
if count is equal to 2,
Digital write 13 comma.
okay, digital write 13 comma, okay, fine. So we have to declare the variable as an global, so then we can use this variable throughout your program. So okay, so that's the reason we have to declare this variable outside the loop. Okay, so then we have to make another changes. Okay, your microprocessor or your Arduino microcontroller will execute this instruction or each instruction in 62 nanoseconds. So that's why, so it will increase the count number more than 10. Okay, so just I will display, okay, just I will display this value on the LCD, so then we'll get to know the values. Okay, so for that purpose again I have to include the library C. So just I will simulate the program. So before going to simulate, I want to display the value of the count on the LCD display. You can see the output. Okay, you can see here, so 113, 163, 194. Okay, so even though I am not pressed this push button, right, so we are getting count val. So if I am pressing this push button, now you can see that, so it is incrementing. Okay, so like execute in 62 nanoseconds, so that we are getting the more number of counts. So that's why I will use delay here, so just for 500 or 300 milliseconds. Okay, so now let us see what it will give the result. So first time, so it is count 1, so now it will turn on the, so I will remove the buzzer. Okay, so count val, so now I will press the push button for first time, so it is 1, the count value is 1, so then it will turn on the LED, so that is nothing but the person is entered. So if the count value is 2, so then it will turn off the LED. So you can see here, so it is turned off. So if I will press the push button, so again it will detect a person, so it has to turn on the LED, but it won't turn on the LED because the count becomes 3 now, right? So if the count becomes 3, in our program there is no if condition for the 3, right? So that's why after exiting the person, so we have to make that count as an 0. Okay, so then we will get the repetition loop. Okay, so now instead of displaying the count value, okay, so instead of count value, so just I will take a delay as 1 millisecond. Okay, so here I will print something new information on the LCD display. Just I will print LCD.print if the person is entered. So then we'll print person entered or person entry. So you can say that person entry. So then LCD dot set cursor 0, 1. So in the second row, so I will display LCD dot print, okay, fan on, okay, fan on. So here instead of fan you are turning on the LED, okay. So fan on. So just I will clear the LCD display, okay. So just I will give the delay here for 2 seconds or 1 second, you can say 1 second, okay. So in the similar case, so I will copy this line, copy these lines and person exit, okay. Here I will display person exit fan off. This is interactive, right? So delay I will use 1 second. So now let's see so what it will give the result. So at the starting again I will display something, okay. So there is empty right here. So again at the starting I will display something. LCD dot print, I will just simply smart home, okay. So smart room controller, okay, smart room. LCD dot set cursor 0, 1, smart room print control device, okay, or controller, I will say that, okay. So just I will use delay again for 5 seconds, okay. So then now let's see the result. Smart room controller, okay. So it is cleared. So now I will press the push button now, okay, for first time. So per one person entry fan on, okay. Now your fan is turned on automatically, okay. When the object is detected once again, okay. So this is the first time, okay. So just again I will run the code. This is the initial message on the your LCD display. So now if the person is detected for the first time, okay, using IR sensor, so now just assume that the object is detected, okay. So now you can see person entry fan is on automatically, okay. When the person is exit, so that will detect a person again, right. So and for the second time it is detected, so then it will automatically turn off the fan. So just again I will detect the IR sensor. So for 2, okay, person exit, okay. So this is the simple again one more application using the IR sensor. So if you want to retain the information on the LCD, so then just clear here. You can just remove this clear and put it here, okay. So now run the code again. Smart room controller, so now I will press, okay, if the object is detected, okay, for the first time, so person entry fan on, okay. So when the person is exit, so then so it will display the message called person exit and fan off. You can see LED is turned off. Again I will detect, so person entry fan on, again so the person is exit, okay. So like that. So when the person is entered into the room, so it will automatically turn on the fan. If the person is exited, so then automatically it will automatically turn off the fan. So like that. So you can build a real-time application, okay. just if the person entered, so I will turn on these two things, okay, that is AC and the fan. So if the person exit, I will turn off these two devices. So what is the code? So that is the meaning. So here just I will detect an object now. So person entry, you can see here both LEDs are turned on, okay. So again if person exited, so then it will turn off both the devices, okay. This is one kind of application is over. So if you have one bit of input, so then we will have the possible of two outcomes, right? So that is means if there is a one bit, so then we have only two outcomes called 0 and 1, right? So 0 and the 1 outcomes. So like that here also if you are using only one sensor, so we have the only two possible, we can do only two possible operations. So that is nothing but enter or exit. So if you have 2-bit inputs, so then we have the possible combination or possible outcomes 4 bits, right? Or 4 values. So 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So these are the possible combinations, right, or outcomes. So like that. So here we have to use more than one sensor for counting the number of peoples, okay. So here my requirement is, so second problem statement, okay. So here I have the second problem, or I want to build second application. So what is that? If so, the first of all we have to count the number of persons that are entered into the room. Okay, that is the first step. We have to count the number of persons. Okay, number of persons. So this is the first step. Okay. So after that, so based on the count. Okay. So based on the count. So let's say, so from 1 to 10. Okay, let's say this is your seminar hall. Okay, so in the second problem statement, so this is your seminar hall. Okay, so I want to control these two devices based on the number of people are sit in the room. Okay, or seminar hall. Okay, so here between, okay, just say, so just I will remove this again. Okay. So here the second point is, so based on the count, so let's say for example, so between 1 to 10 members. So here if the members are between 1 to 10, so then I will turn on the fan. Okay, then I will turn on the fan, this one, device 1. Okay, if the persons are 10, the persons, the count between 10 to 20, okay, so then I will turn on the AC. Okay, so this is my requirement. So this is my problem 2. Okay, so I will count the number of persons, I will display on the LCD display. Okay, so then after the counting the numbers, or after counting the number of persons, I will going to control any one of this device. So let's say if the persons between 1 to 10, so I will turn on the fan. If the persons are between 10 to 20 count, so then I will turn on the AC. So like based on if they are exited, okay, if they are exit of the so they are come out of the room, so then I have to display the number of persons that are already available in the room, this seminar hall. Okay, so that is also very important. So that purpose I'm going to display the number of persons in the first step. After that I will count the number of, okay, I will measure the number of persons. So based on the persons I will going to turn on fan, either AC. Okay, this is my problem 2. If the person enter in the forward direction, means the IR sensor 1 will detect first, after that sensor 2 will detect. So then we can count the number of persons. So then increment the count here. Okay, you can increment the count. If the person move in the reverse direction like this. So in this manner the second IR sensor will detect first, after that the first IR sensor will detect. So if the process will go like this, so then we can decrement the count. Okay, so based on this count variable, so we can go for the particular operation. Okay, so using this operation we can increment the count or we can decrement the count. So after that we can check the condition for the count. If the count is between 1 to 10, so then turn on the fan. If the count is between 10 to 20, so then turn off the fan. So then turn on the AC. Okay, so this is my requirement.